When you think of traveling to places like Germany, Switzerland or Austria, you probably think of this.
But we want to show you the more hidden spots in these countries, more like this.
And we call these our hidden gems. By the way, I'm Warda.
And I'm Madelaine, and we are taking you on a 2-week trip to discover them.
We are starting from Germany, heading through Switzerland, crossing over to Little Lichtenstein, entering Austria, and then back to Bavaria. We've got castles, lakes, caves planned, and a surprise.
To keep things sustainable, we'll be taking an electric car, and we'll be updating you as to how that goes.
The first thing we did was pick up our e-car from Stuttgart and head to our first hidden gem, which was nestled away in southwest Germany's Swabian Alp. The colors of this small lake are breathtaking. No wonder there are myths and legends about it. The bright blue surface hides a giant underwater network of caves. The lake gets its spectacular color from sunlight reflecting off limestone particles in the water. We were mesmerized. After Lake Blautopf, we took the day to drive to Switzerland and ditched the car for a ride up the mountains. Hi guys, we are in the Pilatus Bahn. It's near Mount Pilatus in Switzerland near Luzern. And it is high, and I mean high.
So we drove about 20 kilometers south of Lucerne this morning to a little town called Alphorn, which is where the train begins. And it's actually the world's steepest cogwheel railway. The train reaches a staggering gradient of 45%. It takes 30 minutes to reach the top, and it was thrilling to inch ever closer to the peaks of the green-grey mountains and their swirling white hats of cloud. All that mountain air made us a bit peckish, so our next hidden gem had to be edible. We headed to Zurich to sample a classic of Swiss cuisine, the cheese fondue. The traditional Swiss Chuchi restaurant has been serving the dish for decades. We got a glimpse behind the scenes in the kitchen. And that's how the cheese fondue is made.
Melt Swiss cheese, add wine and a little bit of garlic. It's awesome. I've been eating fondue here almost every day for the past 27 years.
As the cheese bubbles away over the mini stove in front of you, you simply dip in the bread or potatoes at your leisure. We are very full and very sleepy, but we are very happy to have discovered the king of Swiss cheese, the fondue.
I love cheese.
So we are somewhere between Zurich and our fourth hidden gem, which is in the east of Switzerland, and it is time to charge our car. So she needs a little bit more juice. So we've been scanning on the app to try and find exactly a connector near us which is compatible with our charger. So we have to scan our card and see if it will connect. So I select what is hopefully the correct charger. This is what it looks like. Okay, it looks like it's charging. It's currently on 24%, and we're going to bump it up to around 75 before we drive off again, or 100 if we have time.
Patience is a virtue everyone should have when traveling by electric car. But so far so good. What we didn't know was what was in store for us. More on that later. After the pit stop for charging, we headed to our next gem.
We just had the maddest drive through the mountains, and we are finally here at
Castle Tarasp. Can't wait to show you. The majestic Tarasp Castle is situated in the Swiss canton of Graubünden, perched on a hilltop. castle was built in the 11th century. Today, it belongs to artist Note Vital. That's why there is plenty of modern and contemporary art on display inside. You can also attend regular organ concerts and get an impression of how the sound is made. And at the end of our tour, we enjoyed amazing views from the castle.
For our next gem, we headed to the small state of Lichtenstein to go trekking with llamas and alpacas.
As you perhaps know, llamas can spit, but alpacas can as well. They just spit at each other, not at humans, so don't worry. We'll start from here, go up into the forest, and then onto the meadows where they want to eat all the time.
This farm in Triesenberg offers regular hikes with the animals.
Hello! Hello, meet Elvis!
Elvis was born in June 2015, which makes him roughly 6 years and some old. And he's a mixed breed, so he's half llama, half alpaca, so you can get the experience of both. We have a very interesting story about Elvis that we really need to share.
So Elvis was actually a surprise. They don't normally breed a mixture of alpacas and llamas, which is what Elvis is. But one night at the farm, a male alpaca got out into the female llama field, and a year later, Elvis arrived.
Hi, Elvis. We had planned to explore Austria's VIII Valley, but we came across a little snag. Our car wouldn't charge. 4 charging stations in 3 countries later, it became clear that our e-car wouldn't take us any further. It had to be towed. But hours later, and with a new car, we were back on track.
Greetings from Rattenberg.
This is officially Austria's smallest town with 414 people living here as of 2016.
It's a former trading hub specializing in glass, and today people come to enjoy the beautiful multicolored houses. The compact town centre is still filled with stores selling their own glass.
Rattenberg is a glass town. Before it was even more so, but now people buy more and more elsewhere because it's cheaper. But here in Rattenberg it is a craft. With Rattenberg being roughly only the size of a football pitch, we didn't need too long before heading on to our next highlight. We have just arrived at Eisriesenwelt. This is hidden gem number 8.
Guys, we're so high up the mountains. It's snowing here.
As it turned out, we were hiking through the first snow of the year. The cave is located within this mountain, called Hochkogel, under an hour away from Salzburg. We hiked for a total of 40 minutes and rode the cable car all the way up to meet our guide, Johannes.
It's the Great Ice Barrier, the thickest part of ice here in the cave. Unbelievable, but from the peak to the bottom, the ice has a thickness of 25 meters of solid ice.
The Eisreisenwelt, or World of Ice Giants, was among the most spectacular things we have ever seen. It's definitely worth putting up with the chill. It's actually so cold in there, no life exists inside. We enjoyed massive natural ice structures, rocky caverns and frozen pools. Despite the 1,400 steps we had to climb. Overall, this had to be our favourite gem.
For our penultimate hidden highlight, we drove back to Germany for a visit to a special hotel in Bavaria. We found it in Jetzendorf, near Munich. It was an unusual hotel concept for a countryside getaway, hidden between trees and neighboring an adventure park, where guests stay in lake lodges or tree houses. Our guide, Leander Edinger, showed us around the hotel. He has been part of the project since its inception.
So we leave a lot of space for the animals living here, for the fishes in the sea, or the frogs over there. And every time in spring we've got a right concert with the frogs.
The next morning, we jetted off to our final destination. What you hear and see now is a traditional instrument from the Alps, the Alphorn. Here at the Alphorn Hotel in Ofteschwang in the Allgäu region, you can learn it.
This is much more than just hitting notes. It is a philosophy, a down-to-earthness that is our wellness.
The Alphorn is over 450 years old and served the shepherds in former times.
Zur Kommunikation?
They used it to communicate, to signal whether everything is all right, if a path is closed, or the animals are there, or if there is danger. You just put out signals, and that was the essential purpose of the Alphorn. And this instrument is named Alphorn because it has simply been blown in the whole Alpine area. It has nothing to do with the country, but with the region.
Wow, it is not easy. Yikes!
You can do whatever you want with your lips. If you don't have air, nothing happens. So the interplay is crucial. Lip technique and air.
We need more practice, definitely. Better to listen to the pros. Hey, thanks for following our road trip, and that was our 10 hidden gems through 4 countries that are German-speaking: Switzerland, Germany, Austria, and Liechtenstein.
We did our best to find cool things that are off the beaten track and that you cannot find in every tourist book, and hopefully you liked a few of them.
Speaking of that, we have 3 travel tips for you if you're ever in this area and want to have a similar route.
So the first one is it's okay to book accommodation at the last minute. The apps like Booking.com, Airbnb are really good for finding last minute deals, so actually sometimes you can save on accommodation.
The second thing would be that if you're looking for recommendations, you should check platforms like Reddit to see what people have talked about. It's very cool. And you can also check the websites of the states that you're going to visit, because they also have some cool things that go on.
And the last one is if you are traveling by car, as we were doing, then you should definitely leave a budget for parking. It was very pricey to park in places like Switzerland and Austria, especially if you're leaving your car overnight. So if you can find a hotel or an Airbnb that has free parking, it could be the best value option.
Also, if you're in Germany, carry cash.
Carry cash, otherwise you will be deprived of even coffee.
And that's all from us. Thanks.
Ciao, thank you for watching.